Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
How much? It's been a good week here. It's September 30th, 1999. Is there something wrong with our equipment here?
No, I'm looking at the picture that's on the magazine there, and it looks like a volcano, but I don't think it's a volcano.
It's a lighthouse.
I know there's a lighthouse at the end, but the thing leading up to the lighthouse.
Oh, it's just an outcropping.
It's weird.
It does look weird.
Sorry, I got distracted. Sorry.
It's all right. I didn't realize that you were looking at that.
Yeah. Well, it's a distracting picture.
I should take a picture of that and put it as my screensaver on my computer.
I'd never get any work done. Just be staring at it, trying to figure it out.
Speaking of not getting any work done,
yeah,
we watched an episode of 90210.
We did.
What the hell was it called?
I don't know.
Fuck. I don't remember either.
It was definitely not called Fuck.
Oh, that'd be funny though. There was You Better Work. I remember that one. And then I think that was the previous episode. And this one was called Something Else. Anyway, go ahead. Tell us about the show.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Oh, okay. You don't remember anything? It was yesterday. I understand.
It was yesterday.
Now that we're doing this live, we're watching it the day before and recording the next night.
What happened? I remember.
Oh my God! Seriously? Were you sleeping?
No, I don't think so.
Is this one of those situations where you were like just in a daze, like you had astral projected yourself to the far reaches of the universe or something?
Apparently. Okay, wait. I remember. Okay, Steve wants to propose to Janet. I remember that.
Okay, let's talk about the Steve Janet storyline.
So he keeps talking to her with a ring in his pocket that he's ready to give her.
Yeah.
And she keeps being a bitch.
Yes.
So he just keeps the ring in his pocket.
Yep. That's pretty much what happens. Like the episode opens with the guys and they're very chummy.
They are all
it's Noah, David,
Dylan
and Steve. And Dylan
was Matt there?
No.
Okay.
Matt's with the ladies because that's a whole nother thing. But he's with the ladies.
Is he now?
There's a foursome going on over at the beach house. But anyway, so the guys are all together and Dylan's like, oh man, you should marry her or whatever. Like, she's having your kid. And he's like, well, what if she wants the kid, but she doesn't want me? And Dylan's like, I don't see that happening. And they're all like trying to hype him up.
Yeah.
And then
it's like a pep talk before the big game.
And then Noah's like, here, let's role play. I'll be Janet. You propose to me. And he keeps like sliding the ring onto his finger and like proposing to him and everything and practicing what he's going to say. And I don't know. It's funny shenanigans.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amusing, but it doesn't make any damn sense because, like, most of these guys are not supposed to be getting along. Like, everybody's cool with Steve.
Yeah.
Steve has no beef with anyone.
No.
So I guess that's why they're there for him together. But the other three dudes, like, are supposed to kind of hate each other.
I mean, what? Really?
David and Dylan.
David and Dylan are angry at each other. Yes. I don't. Why is Noah mad at anyone?
God, is that his name?
Noah?
Yeah.
Yes. What the fuck?
That's so weird.
Are you having a stroke?
It just doesn't seem like the right name. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's been Noah for a while. Oh my God, everyone.
No drugs, no drinks.
Jeez.
Just me.
I think maybe we're doing too many shows, Carol.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, Noah is his name. The Muppet.
But yeah, the Muppet helps me. The Muppet I can get with.
Yeah, you sound like you're gonna get with a Muppet.
Fuck you. Okay.
Waka waka waka.
But okay, David and Noah actually should have beef too because Donna cheated on Noah with David.
Yeah, it was so long ago though.
Oh, yeah, what, a month? Like, seriously.
Whatever. She cheated on Noah like later with another dude.
And like, didn't David and who? Okay, Noah and Dylan also don't get along.
Why?
It's money stuff.
They. My God.
I mean, you gotta really try to remember and pay attention to this stuff.
Apparently. Dylan owns the club and everything.
Yeah, and he was a dick about taking it away.
Kind of, a little bit.
See, I'm right. None of these guys should be getting along.
Okay, sure. Sure. You're
Thank
right.
you.
So yes, then Steve tries to talk to Janet, and he wants to propose every single time. And she's saying stuff like, I need somebody who's not wishy-washy. This kid needs somebody, and you're too. You surprise me sometimes. And that can be good, but it also can be bad. The kid doesn't need this, and like she's just
She's like, you can surprise me, but not the kid.
yeah. It's really weird.
She's acting crazy. The only thing that I can excuse this with is that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So maybe her hormones are making her act crazy.
She said that she's got a list of everything that she wants to get done. Mm-hmm. And, like, all of her doctor's appointments are on there, and, like, getting the crib and getting the room set up and everything painted and all that shit. And she's handing out lists to everybody where she's like, this is what's going to happen. And she says to Steve, you know, we're going to find out the sex of the baby. And he's like, I don't want to know the sex of the baby. And she was like, well, it doesn't matter. And it's like, he's like, another situation where, you know, you're going to do it. You don't care what I think kind of thing. And it is true. Like,
Yeah.
because he's like, I don't want to know the sex of the baby. And she's like, then don't go to the ultrasound appointment.
Yeah, I mean, she is not being very nice. I mean, it's like they're still a couple. So
Sort of.
I mean, you would think.
She's so on the fence about it because while he's over at the Walsh house with the guys, she's with the girls at the beach house.
Malibu Barbie Beach.
And Donna's all like, he's proposed to you. Yeah, like he didn't have a ring or anything, but like he proposed and he wanted to marry you and you said no. Like, it's so dumb or whatever. Like, you should have said yes. And they're all trying to convince him to convince her to say yes. And Matt walks in and he's like,
Oh, God, yeah.
I'll tell you what. It's hard enough when both people are committed to it in a marriage, you know. When one of them's not, you're fucked, kind of thing.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why is he there, and why is he a dick?
I don't know. But we'll put a pin in that comment, because that comment, it fuels the storyline between him and Kelly later. But, yeah, Janet's all like, oh, you know, I don't know what to do and everything. And then they have all this conflict. They have, like, this I would say is kind of the main storyline of the episode. And they have, like, 4 scenes that are all the same scene. Mm-hmm. It's so frustrating. It's just written a little bit differently. The scene starts, he wants to propose, they start having a conversation, they fight, they butt heads, and he's like, fuck this, I don't want to propose anymore, like internally. Mm-hmm. And then she leaves, and that's it. And then they come back together, same thing, over and over again, butting heads. Maybe they shouldn't be together.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're acting right now, it would seem that way to me.
I'll tell you what, like, I feel like she's not being fair. And I can't remember exactly what she said, but she said something where I was like, that's fucked up. Like, she's being a bitch.
Yeah.
Dylan completely calls her out.
I think he is putting his nose where it doesn't fucking belong, though. Because he calls her to his hotel room.
Yeah, like he's the fucking godfather or whatever. Come to my hotel room, Janet. I want to have a conversation about your life and how you're not meeting your responsibilities.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, he has her come and sit down, and they're talking. And he's telling her that like she is making a mistake. She's not doing right by Steve, basically. Yep. And she's just like, I don't need this. I don't have time for this.
That kid needs a father too, you know, or whatever.
Yeah. And at the same time, Gina comes in. This is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. Like Gina comes in, and she's getting herself a snack. Just like wandering around in the background. And like first she sits down like, hey, how you doing? And Dylan's like, we're having a conversation.
Right.
And then she's just like, I don't know, comic relief in the background, trying to be out of the way, but not.
Yeah.
And that comes back later, too.
Yeah. And then later, Dylan is at the paper with Steve, looking through the classified ads for apartments and stuff like that. That's why he's at the paper. Janet hasn't walked in yet, but Dylan's like, you're gonna be a single parent. Fuck her. Like, you're gonna be a single parent. That's great. It'll be a chick magnet. So he says she walks in and they like give each other looks. So they do not like each other right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way she's acting, nobody's gonna like her.
So finally, she kind of like he goes to the ultrasound appointment, and Steve does. He shows up, and they're looking at the baby and everything. He's like, "Oh my god, this baby!" And the doctor's like, "You want to know the sex?" And she looks over at him and finally makes a decision, putting his feelings into consideration, and says, "No, we don't want to know." And then he's overcome with emotion at her doing one nice thing, and he's like, "I was going to save this for later, but." And he pulls the ring out and like, will you marry me? And like they're all like crying and stuff, and the doctor's just kind of standing there like, cool.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to work out between them.
I don't know. I mean, in real life, I don't think it would work out between them. When you can't have a conversation without fighting, it's a pretty bad sign.
Yeah.
But in the guise of the show, I mean, they can make whatever they want to happen. So
yeah, I guess since we know it's the last season,
I mean,
they're probably not going to break them up and get them back together again and all that.
My prediction is they'll probably live happily ever after, but in real life they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's the end of that storyline. Which one do you want to go to next? I'll recap them for you. There's the David storyline with the girl he wants to date. There's the Dylan and Gina storyline. There's the Matt and Kelly storyline, and then there's the Donna and Noah storyline.
I don't know.
You don't remember what any of these stories are.
I do. I don't care which one we do first.
I mean, Noah and Donna don't have much going on.
No, I mean, they're just like flirty and chummy, and it's disgusting and upsetting.
Well, sort of, but they also get angry at each other too. So Donna says, "Hey, there's a band that listen to their demo. They're pretty good." And he's like, "Oh, where'd you hear these people?" I heard them around or whatever. And he listens to the demo. He's like, "Yeah, this is a really good band, or whatever." And he's like, "I'm booking for the Peach Pit." She's like, "Yeah, you need somebody for whatever day." And he's like, "Oh, you're helping me out." So he books them for whatever day it is, and the band is there, setting up and everything. He's like, the one guy's like, "Man, thanks so much for this. Thanks for giving us this chance. We really appreciate it." He's like, "Dude, you're gonna be number one on the radio or whatever. Like, we're just happy to have you here." And he's like, "Well, I like the way you think, man." And they're talking about groupies and stuff. And he's like, "Man, you're in the right business if you want groupies." And he's like, "Oh no, my cousin, dude, he's a professional volleyball player. They get the best groupies." And
which is the most ridiculous statement in the world, by the way.
And he's like, "Oh, who's your cousin?" And he's like, whatever his name was, I can't remember, Wayne or something like that. And he's like, "Oh, he dated a friend of mine." And he's like, "Oh, did she say what a dog he was?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so he's pissed, and he says something to Donna, and Donna's like, "Okay, so Wayne's the one that told me about the band, apparently before they broke up." And he's like, "Well, you fucking lied to me," and he's pissed off.
Which is, I think, an overreaction.
Well, she's like, "You went out with the whatever. I had to watch you with the other girl." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Yeah, but that was after we were broken up," which is fair.
Yeah,
because she cheated on him.
True, but like, I don't know. I mean, it's just a band. Like, get over it.
Yeah, and so eventually he does get over it. It's a very short storyline, And then they kiss, like they're back together, I guess.
It's very upsetting to me.
Yeah, I don't like
Don't
it.
want them together.
I wanted Noah to leave.
I feel like everybody who's getting together right now is going to have to stay together because there's not that much time left.
Yeah.
And I wanted David and Donna to get together.
I wish that would happen, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
But instead, he's dating this girl from the radio.
No, the radio station.
Yeah.
He goes to the radio station to meet his boss, and she's a receptionist there or whatever. And she's all like, "Oh, it's you, the fucking after dark guy. You're such a fucking pig or whatever."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Really? You know?" He like puts on this like charming.
Oh yeah, he turns on the charm.
And he's like, "Why don't you go out with me and I can prove you wrong or whatever. You can make up your mind
right.
for real." And like she goes with this, she agrees to this. Like I don't.
Why
if
is
she
it such
really,
an about face?
If she really felt that strongly, I don't think just him trying to charm her would work. I don't get that. Yeah. I mean, he's a nice looking guy, but is he that nice looking?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So they go like he calls her while he's on the air. Mm-hmm. Also, he's calling out people while he's on the air too because he sees Gina, and Gina's all like pissed off at Dylan. That we'll get to their storyline. They're having a little like pissy time, and David's like whatever, and he leaves, and he's like, yeah, got girls like assholes. I know this dude Doug, and he calls him Doug instead of Dylan, and he's like, yeah, he treated this girl like he stole his roommate's girlfriend. Treats her like trash, and she loves him more than ever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's being a douche. He shouldn't be using the radio this way. This is not a responsible use of his powers.
Well, Dylan comes in, and Dylan's like, this is my fucking personal life, asshole. Stop. Mm-hmm. And so then he calls the lady on the air, and he's like, hey, you're on the air. I want to ask you out or whatever. And she finds it charming or whatever. She's laughing and stuff, and she's like, okay, yeah, I'll go out with you.
Yeah. And so then they go on a date, and people want to hear about it, which makes sense since he called her on the radio. People want to know, how did it go?
Well, that's the thing is, like, they have this date, they're dancing around and everything. Like, they dance, they kiss. Presumably they have sex. And, the manager's like, hey, can't wait to hear about that date. These are both his employees, by the way.
Yeah.
It seems fucked up. But he's like, I'm not going to talk about the date. It's personal or whatever. He's like, yeah, like they're going to let you not talk about it. And then every caller's like, oh, what happened with that date? And he's like, oh, lost you, and hangs up on him. And then Doug calls in, and it's Dylan. And he's like, yeah, it's not so fun when it's your personal life. So, did you fuck her or what? And he's like, I'm not talking about that. He's like, oh, you couldn't score. And he's like, I'm not saying anything. He's like, oh, you did then.
It was like, fucking elementary school playground bullshit.
And she's listening. Mm-hmm. And he goes, okay, you want to hear about this date? And then we cut. So we don't hear what he says.
But she gets really mad.
And he comes home, and there's a thing on his answering machine, like, you piece of shit.
How could you talk about our date?
Yep.
How could you talk about how we kissed? That's why I don't think they had sex, because she only says kissed. She knows what they did.
I don't remember her saying that.
She did.
Okay.
She said kissed.
Sure.
So, I don't think he had sex with her.
Well, then, I don't know what he could have said that was that bad then.
I mean, unless she was a bad kisser, and he said she was a bad kisser. I don't get it.
I don't know. Too much tongue?
Like, I don't know why they did that off screen. Like, why couldn't we hear what he said?
Yeah.
Why did it have to be a mystery?
They
really do that
stupid
shit. Like, was it too hard for them to figure out how to write it? So they're just like, oh, let them figure it out.
Right.
Lazy.
You know what they say, the best tool of writing, don't show or tell.
Mm-hmm. There you go. That is in their toolbox for sure.
Right. So that's kind of his storyline. This girl doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then we got two left. We've got,
two?
Yeah, we've got Gina and Dylan, and we've got Matt and Kelly.
Okay.
Kelly's pissed off at Matt because of what he said to Janet. And she's like, oh, you think that marriage is just miserable and you're just waiting to be disappointed and everything. And he's like, well, check out my client. My clients want to get divorced. And
Yeah.
they're having a bad divorce.
Half of all marriages end in divorce, you know. Whatever.
And she's like, so you don't believe in happy ever after? He's like, no, I don't. So she's like, you're just waiting to be miserable. And you want me to just be waiting to be miserable.
Yeah, it's weird. And he's like, I don't think that, the people who get divorced should never have gotten together. Like, they had 17 good years or whatever, like, his clients and stuff. So.
Yeah. Well, they had 17 years. We don't know if they're good years or whatever. But, because she's like, what, did they cheat on you? He's like, no, it wasn't cheating or anything like that. They just drifted apart. It changed, like, after 17 years, like, things just change.
But then they hate each other.
Well, so Matt's got her. They're having a custody battle. Mm-hmm. So Matt's got her saying stuff like, "Oh, he's like, he's too angry or unstable or something like that." And he gets mad about that, and he's like, "How could you say those things about me?" He's not yelling or anything to prove that he's not angry. Mm-hmm. He's like, "How could you say those things about me?" He's like, "I just miss my kids, my boys or whatever." And he like storms off, and she looks all guilty and everything. And then later we see her in the After Dark dancing with some dude, and oh, God bless you. Oh my gosh. Will you be able to recover?
What?
I said, will you be able to recover?
Uh-huh.
So she's dancing in the After Dark with some dude, and then she comes to Matt and says, hey, I want to drop all this because we're talking about reconciliation. And he's like, what do you mean? You talked about how you drifted apart and everything. He's like arguing against them getting back together.
Ridiculous.
And he's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't I see you with another guy at the After Dark? And she's like, yeah, we kissed and like it was terrible. I think she said too much tongue or something like that. And she's like, I've seen what's out there, and she says, I realized that just because we changed as people over the years, that doesn't mean we should give up. Like, the nature of our relationship has changed, or like we've changed as people, but it doesn't mean we should give up. We should, continue to work, and I still love him and everything. And so then Matt suddenly believes that maybe love can exist.
I don't like the whole storyline. I think it's dumb. I think it's cliche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cliche. And it's like, it also is weird that, like, I guess we're moving past the rape.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we spent, like, 2 whole episodes on it, but, like...
Maybe even 3.
I guess it's like it doesn't matter anymore now.
Yeah, I mean, just like her cocaine addiction, just like her eating disorder.
Right.
When they're done, they're done. So she's fine again. Her being in a fire.
Yeah.
She's been through so much bullshit.
They really did put her through a lot.
Yeah.
She was part of a cult.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Why is it always Kelly?
I don't know. But, final storyline, Dylan being an asshole to Gina again.
Yeah, so he feels like he needs space because she was there when he's trying to talk to Janet, and he felt like she was in his space. And then
she's always there.
And then in the morning, like, she ordered him breakfast and coffee and wakes him up with that, and he is irritated by that because he, I don't know, wanted to sleep. What? Like, everything she's doing is bugging him.
Well, and to his point of view, he didn't say, hey, move in.
Right.
She's like, well, yeah, I understand. Like, you got kicked out of David's place. I got kicked out of the Malibu Barbie Beach house. We both didn't have a place to stay. And, we ended up here together. And he's like, I have a place to stay. It's this place.
Yeah, and he's like, you don't.
Place.
You don't have a place to stay. Which is a really mean thing to say, especially because does she even have a job?
Not currently,
because Matt fired her, right?
No, that's right. She does work. She works for Matt.
Does she still?
Matt did not fire her.
Okay, well, I thought he should.
She's working with Matt at one point during this episode.
Okay, so she has a job.
But yeah, he's like, I think you should find your own place. To his point, he didn't ask her to ever move in. She just started staying there, and it's like, he's like, I don't think we're at that level yet where we should move in together. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's fair. I think there's a nicer way he could do it, but she's all pissed off about it, and then she goes and looks at some different apartments. She finds a place that she put her first and last months down in Reseda.
Is that supposed to be like a bad place to live?
It's, it's not affluent like Beverly Hills. It's not like a bad place to live or anything, but it's people in Beverly Hills would look down on Reseda,
Okay.
So that's what, and it's a little, it's a bit of a distance for her to get back to where they are.
That's where she can afford to live.
Right. Now Dylan, to his credit, is like, hey, I want you to live in the hotel with me. I figured it out. Compromise. I got you your own room. It's 1 floor down. I like that she's not even on the same floor. It's 1 floor down, and, we'll be able to see each other and, all that stuff and everything. And she's like I'm a fucking concubine.
Yeah, she didn't handle it well. Yeah. Uh-oh.
What?
I had a thought. It did the thing where it leaves.
Oh, no. That's too bad. But I thought it was a good compromise, honestly.
Yeah. I thought it was a good compromise, too. I don't know why she doesn't want it, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's in, the penthouse suite, right?
Yeah.
He moves her down a floor.
Yeah.
So is she in just, a regular hotel room? Nobody wants to live in, a regular hotel room.
I don't know if... it might be a suite. I don't know. It's the Beverly Hills Hotel or whatever the fuck it's called. I actually think the Beverly Hills Hotel is a real place, so they have to give it different names like the Bellage and whatever the fuck this is called. Mm-hmm. This should be the Bellage, but it's not. I thought he lived in the Bellage.
I don't know. It's the same hotel he grew up in, though.
Yeah, that's weird. It's the same one where he, wasn't, what's her name, Claire? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Wasn't she there, too? Isn't that where, what's his name? Brandon. Isn't that where Brandon met her?
Maybe.
In the hotel?
Where she handcuffed herself to his bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Anyway.
But yeah, so what did they decide, though? I know she was mad about it. Did she not take it?
No, she said I don't fucking want it.
Okay. Stupid girl.
Yeah. So I guess she's going to live in Reseda. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. She wants him to beg her to come live with him again.
Yeah, she wants to live with him, not in the same hotel as him.
But I think it's fair that he doesn't want to live with her, honestly.
Yeah, they've barely been back together.
Yeah, you need a strong relationship to want to live with each other.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's
the entire episode. Not a great one.
No. Obviously, it made no impression on me. So,
yeah. The biggest thing that happened in the episode was that Steve and Janet got engaged. She says yes. Yeah. And that's it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, hopefully she starts being nicer now. She seemed like she was kind of holding him at a distance because she didn't think he was going to propose. And now that he has, maybe she'll be nicer. So
yeah, I hope so.
We'll see.
But anyway, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can get their own ultrasound.
You can write us at latefee1994@AOL.com. Mm-hmm. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yeah.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.